Hey, it's Tarot Tuesday. You know, I love alliterations. So, thank you for watching this. If you're hearing this first part, you're probably watching the replay, and thank you so much. Make sure you like the video and leave comments. It really helps me know that you're interested more than anything. Never mind the algorithm. I want to know you're interested. So, hopefully, you can hear me okay. I've got, as you can see, the plant behind me is jiggling in the fake wind I have here. I've got the fan blowing on me. It's actually not even blowing on me properly because it's so hot. And I had to keep the window closed because otherwise it just gets too noisy. People are having a good time out there, which is great. So, what I want to talk about today, and I love that I usually connect with people who are self learners, people who want to grow spiritually and intellectually. And that's how I like to do it, through energy work. You know, it started out with reflexology. It gained momentum with Reiki, and now I like to include cards, tarot, and oracle. I think oracle is pretty much where I learned to trust my intuition and learned to go back into tarot again with a renewed confidence, and it really made a big difference. So now I like to use oracle cards to help bring a deeper, richer insight into a reading. And I also like to pull the card first, sometimes, alternatively, to just get the energy and the flavor of what the message is meant to be about. So I have Kyle Gray's Gateway of Light activation here. And I don't know what's that on the side. Okay, that's weird. Anyways, just going with it. So I'm going to pull a general card here. Again, this is collective and general energy. So if you don't resonate with it, then it's not meant for you. And if you do resonate with it, perk your ears up a little bit and listen, because there's obviously messages that the universe is always trying to provide for us. And we see the typical signs, like seeing a hummingbird or a butterfly or a dragonfly and different things like that, seeing repeating numbers. These are all ways that our guides and spirit is trying to get our attention. But we often don't see it because we're so in our head about whatever activity is we're doing. And hey, that's a good thing, especially if you're driving. You want to be paying attention. So let's see, what do we have here? What do I need to mostly talk about here? Let's see. Sorry, give me a second. Technology is not my friend right now. Mercury's direct, and yet here we go. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to get myself organized here. By the way, I will be pulling cards. If you want to stick around, let me know in the comments if you want a card pull, but I'll be doing it in a little bit, so you've got to kind of stick around. Okay. All right, let's go back to pulling a general oracle card to get a sense of the energy of this live. I often get questions about, when do you know when to stop shuffling? And I just intuitively stop. But what ends up happening for me is a card will usually flip out or get stuck. But if you're waiting for cards to flip out, or jumpers, and they're not jumping out, then you could be there for a hell of a long time. So I like to just do it in my own way. And it took me a while to kind of be comfortable with what I was doing. So same thing with you. You just have to trust yourself and trust to know when to stop, or, you know, when to just, when to stop and just pull the first card, or pull a middle card, pull the bottom card. It really, really, really doesn't matter. All right. So we have two here. Shambhala initiations. Sorry, it's blurry. It says retreating to recharge, trusting in the process. Dharma. So yeah, to me, this is just talking about what is meant to happen will happen. And you have to be willing to give yourself the time and place to release the negative energy. And I don't necessarily mean negative is a bad thing. We have positive and negative electricity, right? We need that in order to connect the currents. So just what I was saying before about trusting your intuition, this is a really great way for you to begin to trust, is to start just grounding your energy, releasing thoughts, ideas, release your breath. Breathing is a big component. So pay attention. How are you breathing? Do you breathe shallow? I know for me, if someone is even talking about breathing, I'm what's the word I'm looking for? Instantly aware of my own breath. Even more so if someone's talking about taking a deep breath. I just can't help but do it. So another card that came up here is Karmic Board Clearing. Energetic clearing, rewrite your story and live your truth. And I feel that some of you are going to really resonate with that because you've probably been getting signs. And for me, sometimes these signs come in as, oh, my foot's bugging me. So are you going to run a marathon? Are you going to do a bunch of standing and walking activities when your foot's in pain? Probably not. You're going to favor it a little bit. So to me, that's a sign. The universe is saying, time to slow down. It's paying attention to how our body is moving through our day. And I get it. Sometimes we've got to push through things because we have obligations and appointments and things like that. But in those times where we're just kind of sitting there and all of a sudden we get this little weird nerve diagnostic where we get pain and we're like, what the heck was that? That's the time for you to pay attention, because what goes on in our physical body is something that has been in our energetic field for a while. And I always said this when I was teaching Reiki, is that we can often feel things in somebody's auric field. And then they're like, well, the person, I didn't feel anything. Well, that's because we're dealing with it in that auric field. So it doesn't need to work its way into the layers, into the physical body layer, which is great, which is a really great time to clear it, is when it's easier to clear. Often it's when it finally seats itself physically into our body that then we need to get physically involved with it. We can't go for Reiki for a broken bone and expect that to heal it. We need to physically get it aligned, put it in a cast and that sort of thing. Yes, Reiki is still going to help heal it probably swifter and heal anything in the auric field that might still be remaining. So it's important to, bottom line, if you have something physically going on, you need to deal with it both physically and emotionally, mentally, all of the things. So this is why it's always good to have a healing practice for yourself. You don't need to know Reiki in order to do self-care on yourself, even if it's just sitting there, breathing and releasing the discomfort, or being aware of where you're feeling the discomfort in your body, and give it some love, right? Maybe your stomach is a little off and you're like, oh, it's queasy. So bring some awareness, some loving awareness to it. Because I know if my stomach's feeling off or I feel like maybe I'm nauseous, I don't want to think too much about feeling nauseous, because that's going to, send me into the bathroom. But if I'm focusing on sending love and gentle energy, it has a different vibration to it. So to me, it's just bringing awareness to the areas. So yeah, I don't know. I got on that soapbox about healing. And I also want to say too, yeah, you don't need to have Reiki to do it. We all have the ability to heal. We were born with that ability. And sometimes circumstances and our life and being told different things have us kind of forget that we are that powerful when it comes to our own body. Okay, I'm not saying you're going to go out and heal everybody. Maybe you are. I'm not going to say you're not. But what I'm focusing on here is this is all about self-care, self-healing. I don't know why I needed to bring that up. I guess that's why we had the oracle cards. So let's pull some tarot and see what the message comes through today. And again, I invite you, if you want a little reading or a card pull for yourself, just pop it in the comments. Hopefully I'll be able to see them. I don't see any comments now, so I hope someone's out there. Anyone out there? All right. Oh, first card we have, and I'm using the Lightseer Tarot by Chris Ann. It's my favorite deck. When I found out she's Canadian too, I'm like, yes, no wonder I liked it. The imagery is fantastic, though. She's a beautiful artist and a beautiful human. I don't know her, but I do like the energy she brings to her decks. So we have the Four of Cups. So collective reading, but where are some of you maybe being a little bratty? It's the word that comes to me when it comes to things that you've attracted into your life. You've been wanting these things in your life and you get them, but you're not satisfied, complaining about things, going, yeah, I wanted this. Like, to me, what I'm picking up on is you go to a restaurant, you've been wanting to go here for a while. So you've built it up in your mind and on your palate that it's going to be good. And you get there, and then there's that little critic in your mind that starts critiquing stuff. Well, the plating wasn't very good, and it wasn't hot, and all the little things. Oh, it needs salt. I don't know about you, but whenever I'd watch those Food Network shows where the judges would judge you on it being not salty enough, like, everyone needs salt and pepper on the table. Put your own in. Like, whatever. If it's too salty, that's a different thing. Speaking of salty, this is about you being salty about whatever you've received didn't show up in the way you thought it would show up. So you're a little ticked about it. Instead of being happy about it and grateful, you're a little annoyed that it didn't show up the way you thought it would. So the lesson here is we can put out to the universe what we want. We can project what we want to manifest, but we've got to let the universe have creative control and bring it to us in a way that it's meant to come to us. We can't force the details. Boy, did I take a long time to learn this. We really can't force the details. It's going to show up the way it's going to show up. So you might be going, well, hey, Lorraine, everyone says visualize. Yeah, visualize. But what I feel, it's more than visualizing what it looks like. I like to visualize how it feels. If I was immersed in this situation that I want, how would I feel? How would my body feel? What would I be looking at? And that sort of thing, especially how you would feel, makes a big difference on bringing these things into your life. So, for example, when you're little and you're really excited about Christmas and Christmas is coming and you don't know what you're getting yet, you put your list out to Santa and, all these things. But you get super excited. So, of course, Christmas Eve, you're trying to sleep and you're so excited. You don't know what to expect. And when Christmas Day comes, you open your gifts, you're happy. Everything works out the way you want. You get that one thing you really wanted, if nothing else. And to me, that has that energy of connecting with the universe like a partnership. And in that partnership, you're allowing the universe to do its job. And your job is just to be aligned with how you feel. And cups is about how you feel. Cups are about emotions. They're about intuition. It's about bridging the non-physical with the physical is what I feel. And with this Four of Cups, this is saying, don't be disappointed with what you manifest. You're the one who manifested it. It needed to show up the way it showed up because there's more circumstances and opportunities for you to learn and grow and that sort of thing. So however that works, however that comes out for you. So I'm just going to put that one aside. Let's see what else we get. Just going to pull the top one. I like this card. I've never liked this card. I would prefer the regular Rider-Waite deck version of this than this one. And you've probably seen me talk about it before. So we have the devil here. And he's kind of mesmerizing. Come, follow me. Come to the darkness. So it has always kind of creeped me out. But that aside, I finally got through it because it's showing you what are you attracted to and you know is bad for you. What are you addicted to? And I don't always mean, the really bad stuff, but there are things that are distracting you from what you're meant to do. There's things that are causing you to think you don't have control. And notice she's down here, or him, they, whoever, and they're trying to just focus so inwardly. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's what some of you need to do in order to get through whatever has been causing you to feel like you don't have control. And realistically, and I'm going to put this card down, realistically, control is an illusion. All we can really control is how we think, what we feel, and how we respond or react to things. And I say respond or react, even though they're kind of the same thing. But in my mind, reacting is something that we kind of is a trigger, and we just kind of do it without control. Responding to me feels like it's a little more discerning about what are these circumstances? How should I react in a way that's uplifting or positive? I mean, yeah, there's circumstances where we can't do that. Take road rage, for example. Someone cuts you off or they brake check you or something like that. You're going to definitely react to that. But if you take that extra few seconds, and it's not even linear of time, this is in your mind, a millisecond can feel like a whole minute if you're contemplating things, and if you can deal with that energy of, okay, what am I supposed to do with this situation? So there's that. Let's pull another one. Just kind of some random things I'm talking about here. Okay, and now we have another major arcana. We've got the Strength card. And I love that it follows the devil, because this is showing you that no matter what's coming in, distracting you or telling you're not good enough or reminding you how bad everything is, that you always have the strength to push beyond what you understand and know. This is where you actually gain the courage to do things a little bit differently than you've done in the past in order to make change. Because here's the thing, change, it ain't easy. Just going to say it isn't. We think it is, even we're trying something and we create a habit for 21 days or whatever they say, even, 6 weeks or whatever. If we're not paying attention and we're not congruent with the actions we take, we're going to revert back to the way things were. We have to be really aware and conscious of how we're showing up. And trust that change is always going to try and revert us back into that groove of habit that we've had before. So it's up to us to create new habits, and it takes more conscious effort to do that, which is why it can be tiring, and which is why a lot of times people are like, okay, well, I've tried this change and it's just too much to keep it up, so I'm just going to kind of revert back to the way it was. Like take having a better posture, for example. There's only so much you can do when you put your shoulders back, suck in your gut, and walk around like that. Eventually, you're going to go back to the way you were. Okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Let me know. Am I the only one here? Because, walk around and I'm, trying to make sure my back feels really good, especially those times when your back isn't feeling good. and you go ahead and do things and you're kind of unconsciously kind of moving through your space. And then you realize, oh, I'm slouching again. And my shoulders aren't back and I'm not upright. So it's just a constant recalibration. And it's totally okay. We're not meant to be aligned fully and completely 24/7, 365. That's not how it works. But we're meant to remember or see ourselves in a state of, oh, okay, I'm slouching again. Time to adjust myself. And as I always say, when you notice, lovingly notice. Don't judge yourself. Oh, I was supposed to do that. Oh, why I'm so stupid. I can't keep this up and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, just lovingly notice. Oh, yeah, I need to recalibrate and go back to that new habit I'm trying to create. And whatever that might be for you, it's not necessarily going to be your posture. It's going to be something a lot more significant in your own life. So there you have it. So I'm going to pull one more here, and then I'm just going to call it a day. So thanks for watching. Ace of Swords. So a reminder that your thoughts create your reality. So it's up to you to really step up what you're thinking. And I'm just going with the visuals on this one. Now, here's the thing, and I see this, it's a spiral staircase. You could spiral out of control, and then you're not going anywhere, or it's endless. Or you can be really focused on building that neural connection to the actions you take are creating the reality around you. The actions you continue to take, or the energy you're aware of, your thoughts energy, and recalibrating so that you're continually moving forward. That's the best thing that you can do. So there you have it. That's your Tarot Tuesday. Hope you have a fantastic week, and be sure to tune in again next time. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.